Okay, hello and welcome to Unity tutorials. So, to start off, get Unity. That'd be a good idea. So just go to unity3d.com, go to get Unity, and get the personal edition. It's completely free, and it's wonderful. Um, and first thing you want to do, start a project. I'll call this tutorial. I don't know. And if you want, you can import some packages. Get maybe cameras, possibly characters, environment, effects, particles, and then I've got all this other stuff. I'll get this ground materials package that I got from the asset store. And I'm gonna hit create, and that'll do its thing. And your two best friends while developing are the documentation and the scripting API. I prefer C#, it's kind of faster sometimes. And you can just go through, get whatever you want for whatever it is you're working on, no matter what it is. It's incredibly helpful. And the manual with the documentation isn't amazingly helpful because it doesn't describe things in incredible detail, but it is helpful if you've got some overall issues with how to get something to work or design flaws, possibly. But as Unity is indeed taking its time, this is a very awkward moment, which I'll return in a moment. Alright, and Unity has opened, and first thing you want to do, I prefer having the layout as wide, the one column layout, just because it's what I'm used to. It's a little easier. It's more like the browser. Oh boy. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. But you want to just create a small little folder. Won't be small in a moment, but put all of your other files, as the name implies, into that folder. And when developing a game, or working on anything, actually, you want a lot of organization. A lot. So, you'll put most of your custom files into the game files folder, just because it's easier to navigate. And the first thing we'll be doing is creating a player, and a world for the player to be in. So, create a 3D object, throw in a little plane. It's a nice little plane. And scale it up to maybe 20 by 20. And now you've got this very large plane that kind of fades off into the distance. But if we hit play, it's not a nice looking plane. So we will add a material to it. So go over to your mesh renderer and click this little circle thing. Then you want to go through, find a nice little material that you like. This one is a little bit not very great. But since we got that ground package, we've got some relatively nice materials that we can use. So we'll use this grass one, and we'll edit it to tile maybe 60 by 60 times, and the normal map. Don't forget that. So now if we zoom in, it looks a lot nicer. There you go. So we'll bring our camera up a little bit, and it looks relatively nice. But we need a player. So we can go over here to our standard assets, characters. If you want, you can throw in first person character. Bring it up a little bit, hit play. There you go. You've got this little character hopping around. And it's not incredible, but you've also got a third person character, and this one's a little nicer. Get rid of this one and disable our camera. And shouldn't have done that, sorry, one moment. There we go. You've got this nice little character, and if you've got a controller with you, like a PlayStation controller or controller of other sorts, you can actually play using that controller. It's relatively nice. It's not incredible, but it's nice. And if you wanted to add other objects, you could add them if you wanted to, such as maybe water, if you wanted to. And one nice thing about Unity, if we disable this plane, you've also got terrain that you can add. So if we add terrain, it'd be kind of odd and way off to the side. Scale this down, maybe, a little bit. No, wait. Just drag it over -50, -50. That's good enough for now. And then make it about 100. And that, maybe good enough for now. You can just go ahead and draw some crazy mountains all over the place. But bring the opacity down a little and size up. Draw some terrain. Maybe over here have like a little pit if you want. And Unity is super quick with getting things to, or at least Unity 5, to look really nice. So if we just hop over to here, go to Edit Textures and add a texture, then go through and get that grass texture of any form if you want. And if that takes too long, you can just hop over to here, pick one that you like, such as 4. 4 might be good. Maybe 5. Let's go with 5. And then drop our normal on top of it. Set size to 60 by 60. Press add, and there you go. Doesn't look incredible, but it's relatively nice. We can go with maybe a dry ground texture if we want for the next one. So hop over, add texture, and drag our 2 textures onto it. Set it maybe 30 by 30. And then select it, and go ahead and just paint it all over. And the opacity is incredibly low. There you go. Set the brush size to be bigger. And we'll just go like this. Paint it over everything. Or at least everything that is worth looking at for now. And then bring the opacity very, very low down. And the strength bring the size down a bit. And as you can see, it doesn't look incredibly nice because at the moment it's a big dirt grass pile. But if we edit the texture to be a little bit smaller, 3 by 3, if we zoom in, it actually looks relatively nice. We can bring the opacity up a little. Paint it on. And if we get our camera and our player bring them up a little bit. And let it load for a moment. We've got a small little terrain setup for the player to walk around on. And that's just super basic, maybe 10-minute work. So it's a pretty quick engine. Next episode, which will actually start working on something, we'll create an animated player. That might take 2 or 3 episodes. Overall, at least. So, have fun. Good luck.